What's up, YouTube world? It's Taz for Life, Mr. Knowledge, about to kick out some knowledge today. Let's talk about some common sense. Common sense is the basic principle of life, right? Everything was established on common sense and instincts. And I'm the type of person, man, I see both sides of the world. I see the coin flipped on both sides. So I see the glass half empty and half full. But common sense is a necessity that most people should have somewhere in their mind. They should have common sense. Common sense is basic stuff like, if you do wrong, you know you'll get punished. You walk in front of a car, you know you'll get hit. Common sense is just basic knowledge. That's all it is, man. It's common sense. A lot of people don't have it, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, when you kill somebody, or brutality, man, common sense is gonna be repercussions for it. And you shouldn't do it, man. You know, go back to love your neighbor and thou shalt not kill. That's just common sense, you know. Love for a person, common sense. Things that everybody should have, man. It shouldn't be restricted to one person, one culture, one race, one gender, none of that. Like, common sense, everybody should have a little bit of common sense in them. And then you got most people who are bookish, who are book smart, you know, intelligence, man. You know, book smart is people with so much intelligence don't have common sense. So, you know what I'm saying, if you an adult, learn about common sense. If you have kids, teach them common sense. Right from wrong. You know, we teach them the basics of the girl, which was right from wrong, but when you implement studies of certain things, common sense kind of leave out their brain, and other things inherit their concepts. So common sense kind of goes away. Like privileged people doesn't have a lot of common sense, I think. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, every person is a person. No matter what color they is, what shape they is, they're gonna feel the same way you feel if something was to happen. You know, somebody die, you feel the pain. Somebody get hurt, you feel the pain. Like, it's just common sense. And, you know, I'm a common sense person. I do everything on instincts. Instincts is a very big factor in people's lives. Like, survival and sexuality is very big in our instincts. A lot of people don't understand that shit. Like, they don't understand how powerful survival is in the brain. Like, the brain is the first instinct of survival. That's whether it's the environment, the people you're around, any little thing, survival is number one. Sexual impulses is number two. Like, that's, you can't, they try to educate you on stuff like school or, you know, stuff like that. They try to educate you on stuff like that so they can kind of train you on these situations as far as instincts like survival and sexual impulses, but you really can't control that, man. It's part of you. I don't see why people just don't adapt and keep it real. Like, stop trying to cover it up and fake it. Just keep it real, man, so people can know it's coming. You're going to have to deal with it, and then you're going to have to find a way to resolve it in the situation. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't believe in hiding the truth. I believe in facing the truth. You know, like, we use so many metaphors in life that people can't understand the truth. We try to use metaphors and stuff, and people just can't understand the truth. So we try to cover it up. We just tell them the truth, man. Like, this is how life is going to be. These are situations you're going to encounter, and these could be the outcomes. And you got to deal with it. So my thing is, man, just keep it real, man. Use common sense. Your instincts are gonna kick in as part of life, and you gotta be able to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is as people. You know, we've been manipulated a lot by money, greed, all type of stuff, man. You know, influence our brain, and it's, you know, I don't understand it, but that's the way that they made it. That's the way they try to keep a balance from the people that's poor and people that's rich. You know, it's funny. Well, we got so much money in the world that why everybody can't be rich, why everybody can't make $100,000. You understand when you're young, you get these low paying jobs because you got to grow, you got to develop. But once you get to a certain age, everybody should make 100,000. Why should it be a limit to certain people or a race or everybody? The money's still gonna be shared. The money's still gonna be spent. It doesn't matter. Like, the common thing is money's going to be spent around the world. It's going to go around. It's going to float through the air and go around. Like, why can't everybody make $100,000, buy a nice house or a car, and live a comfortable life? You know what I'm saying? Like, they say, oh no, it's going to go the value of the dollar. It's not fair. Then the rich gets. It doesn't matter, man. If the rich is rich, cool. But if a person making $100,000, we could afford rent in a house and stuff for his family, board, and be able to afford good schools. What's wrong with that? Why is that not fair? Why is that not just common? That's just common sense, right? So that's why I understand. Like, we need to get back to people in power that have common sense. Because people in power doesn't have common sense. They might be book smart because you got all these tests to follow, so you got to pass all these damn tests to become that person in power, right? So they might lack a lot of common sense, but they might be intelligent, book smart. And that's the problem right there, man. Like, a lot of people like be qualified to be officers, pass tests, but don't have the common sense to be actual officers, to deal with public people who deal with certain situations and, stuff like that. So we need to get back to having people with common sense and power, and maybe have a right hand man that's intelligent, that both can communicate on certain things, man. But one person that's too intelligent shouldn't be in power. You need people with common sense who know how to relate to people and everybody, man, because it's enough money to go around. Trust me, it's enough money for everybody to live comfortably. But that is too perfect, right? We don't live in a perfect world, right? So, you know what I'm saying? That's the bad thing about it, is that some people got to suffer because they don't want to make things right when it's too easy. When you look at the Bible, where everything is based on making everything easy, common sense. Like, if you have 5 fish and there's 5 men, why every man can have 1 fish, and so forth. Then we just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's common sense. Like they said, the common sense thing is, why give a man 1 fish when you can teach him how to fish? That's just common sense, right? Like, that's just common sense, man. And I don't think we use that in America today. It's not enough common sense people in the world. And that's what's fucking everything is up. Education and common sense, man. Both of these should be combined in one. And human instincts. Like, you can't avoid human instincts, man. Like, it's a lot of shit that they can't tell you about human instincts because it can alter a lot of shit. But the 2 main things about common human instincts is survival and sex. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, it's in our DNA, it's in our nature to do it. And they try to educate you and change you on it when a lot of people have failed on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you want to go deeper than that, we can go way deeper than that, man. Like, I study human behavior, man. So that's my study, man. Neuroscience is my study. So the brain and the human behavior, man, is my study. So if y'all want to go deeper into this, man, send comments and questions, man. Let's go deep into this shit, man. Let's have great debates on all this stuff and get down to the nitty gritty. And then when they be having these debates, man, if you ain't got facts to back your debate up, then it's really not no point of debating. Like, yeah, you can talk a good game and talk loud and fast and creative words, but if you don't have facts to back your debate up, then what's the point of having a debate, right? You gotta have actual facts that people can see, right? Touch. That's some actual facts. So if you having a debate, man, about any discussion in the world, man, like, have facts on it, man. Like, you should be able to walk out and see the facts. You should be able to look into a book and see the facts, like actual facts, not no shit you just talk about. So, this task, man, for life, man, taking y'all down some knowledge, man, and everything else, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to my channel, man. Hit that like button, man. If anything you want to say, man, hit me up. Like, let's get this shit straight, man, once and for all, man. Peace. Task for life. Peace.